What is the American dream? Some would say that it's this expectation of prosperity and wealth that people come here to obtain. If you ask me, it's coming to the land of opportunity and accomplishing things that wouldn't have been possible in your native country. It's working hard to make a better life for your family and the ones to come. For most, this success is not automatically obtained upon arrival. It comes after great sacrifice and hard work. I'm going to tell you a little bit about where my family came from and the woman whose sacrifice paved the way for my dreams to come true. My great grandparents, from my mother's side, immigrated from the Dominican Republic. Now, when I say that, some people automatically form an opinion about me. They expect me to act and speak a certain way. When I was growing up, this really bothered me, and for some time I even resented being Dominican. People would tell me, "Wow, you don't carry yourself like a Dominican." And I thought, what's that supposed to mean? What are Dominicans supposed to be like? Why are we all labeled as loud, obnoxious, and wild? That's this terrible stereotype, and I refuse to accept it. Because before I'm Dominican, I'm a human being with my own personality and values. I don't have to be what people expect me to be. As I got older, though, I learned to love my heritage, and I can honestly say that I wouldn't want to be anything else. I must admit, though, my grandmother and her siblings do kind of look like a brunette Brady Bunch, which seems unusual for Dominicans, but their father's family was from Spain, so naturally they have some European features. Now, onto this waymaker that I mentioned earlier. The woman responsible for bringing my family to America is my great grandmother, Argentina Franco. I interviewed my Aunt Berta to get a better understanding of how our American story started.
Okay, she came in 1963. Then she went back home to visit us. And I think she had to be there for maybe a year because the 1965 revolution, she had to stay there for a while. She was not able to travel back here. And then she came back maybe at the end of 1965. Then my father came with my three older siblings. And then in 1967, the other five children came. When she first came here in 1963, she started working as a nanny. I know that she was taking care of two children in a American family. That's how she got to learn the little English that she spoke at the beginning, and then with time she got better. Not perfect, but she was able to understand a lot. And then I remember that after that, she started working in a soap factory. And then she was there for a few years, and then she started working for General Electric at night. And then during the day, well, not the overnight shift, but she worked until maybe 11 o'clock at night. And then during the day, she would clean offices, doctor's office, 2 or 3 days a week.
A few years after arriving in America, she and my great grandfather separated. This left her raising 8 kids, mostly teenagers, with hardly any help. But she didn't let that deter her. After years of working 2 jobs, she was able to buy her own house in Queens, New York, right down the street from Louis Armstrong's house. I don't know why that's such a cool fact for me, but I think it says something about the melting pot that New York City is, where an African American jazz legend and a Dominican nanny can live on the same street. When I was 5, my mother and I moved into the basement apartment of that house, and that's when I really got to see for myself just how amazing Mama Argentina was. She was the most gracious and generous person I knew. I don't remember ever seeing her angry, upset, or even crying. She always seemed content. Her heart was so big. One thing that everyone remembers about her is that she knew everyone's birthday and made it a point to call them and sing happy birthday in English and Spanish, even people she didn't know that well. She made everyone feel important, which is why she was so important to my family. Without her strength, we wouldn't be here. It's because of her that the Franco family is now comprised of teachers like Sarah and Michael, doctors like Albert, and a vice president of a bank like Berta, and so many other professions that wouldn't have been possible in the Dominican Republic. We're also a big culturally diverse family now, with honorary Dominicans like Aunt Sherry. Okay, I just really wanted to throw that picture in there somehow, but you get it. I'm not aware of most of my great-grandmother's struggles, and I'm sure she faced many hardships, but she made no excuses. She worked tirelessly to make sure that her family was taken care of, and to me, that is how you live out the American dream. Nothing is handed to you here. We all know that. America is not a magical place where all of your dreams come true with no effort. It does require sacrifice. And for the way that Mama gracefully rolled with the punches that life threw at her, she is my hero. And I know that so many people who knew her feel the same way.
The ramparts we watch.